एवरीवन। तो अब हम डिस्कस करेंगे चैप्टर नंबर 5 रोटेशनल एंड सर्कुलर मोशन के कंसेप्चुअल शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस को। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 इज व्हाई इज द फ्लाई व्हील ऑफ एन इंजन मेड हैवी इन द रिम? So the answer is the rim of flywheel of an engine is made heavy to concentrate more and more mass at greater perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation, that is at the edges, due to which the moment of inertia increases and rotate with uniform rotational speed. Reason of it is, as we know that the moment of inertia of hoop is greater as compared to the disk. Its reason is that it is hollow from the middle and all its mass is concentrated at periphery, that is at its rim. It increases its moment of inertia, therefore its position to any change in uniform rotatory motion is large, due to which it maintains its uniform रोटेशनल मोशन। तो इसका सिंपल मीनिंग ये है जी कि जितना एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन से मैस दूर होगा उस व्हील का, उतना ज़्यादा उसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया होगा, तो उतनी ही कम उसकी एंगुलर वेलोसिटी होगी। तो अगर जितना हम कंसंट्रेट करेंगे सेंटर के ऊपर मैस, उतना कम उसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया होगा और उतनी ही ज़्यादा उसकी एंगुलर वेलोसिटी होगी। Question number 2, why is the rifle barrel rifled? Its answer is, when a rifle is fired, the bullet moves through the barrel and has the translational motion as well as rotational motion about its own axis. This rotational motion helps the bullet to keep it along the required direction with aerodynamic shape. The total kinetic energy of the bullet is the sum of the translational kinetic energy and rotational kinetic energy. Hence, kinetic energy is equals to half mv square plus half I omega square. This much kinetic energy of bullet gives the directional stability to the bullet so that it could preserve its direction for larger distances and hits the target with less chance of missing the target. Basically ये जो हमारे पास सिलिंड्रिकल शेप होती है उसकी उस राइफल की, उसमें जो डायरेक्शनल स्टेबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करने वाला पार्ट होता है वो हमारी हेल्प करता है कि जो बुलेट है वो एग्जैक्टली टारगेट को अचीव कर सके। ठीक है जी। उसमें जो रोटेशनल काइनेटिक एनर्जी जो उसके अंदर स्पाइरल डिज़ाइन होता है वो बेसिकली उसको रोटेशनल स्टेबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करता है, डेविएट होने से रोकता है। Question number 4, why is the acceleration of a body moving uniformly in a circle directed towards the center? So the answer is, when a body is moving uniformly in a circle, then magnitude of its velocity is constant and the direction of the velocity is changing at each point, due to which centripetal acceleration produces. In order to move in a circle, the centripetal force acts on it, which is always directed towards the center of the circle. According to Newton's second law of motion, the force produces acceleration in its direction. Now F is equals to ma. According to this relation, since force is directed towards the center of the circle, hence acceleration will also be directed towards the center of the circle. Question number 5, a ball is just supported by a string without breaking. If it is set swinging, it breaks. Why? So the answer is, when the mass is in equilibrium, tension in the string balances the weight. That is, tension is equals to weight, which is further equal to mg. Now, but when the mass oscillates, the tension in the string increases due to the action of centrifugal force. Now, tension is greater than weight, and hence due to this increase in tension the string breaks. Basically जब वो एक दूसरे को उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया हुआ है तो टेंशन और वेट आपस में बैलेंस हुए हुए हैं। जब हम उनको ऑसिलेट करते हैं तो टेंशन जो होती है वो ऑसिलेटिंग जो मैस है उसके ऊपर एक्ट करने वाली सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स की वजह से टेंशन ज़्यादा हो जाती है। अब उस इंक्रीज इन टेंशन की वजह से वो जो स्ट्रिंग होती है वो ब्रेक कर जाती है। Question number 6. An insect is sitting close to the axis of a wheel. If the friction between the insect and the wheel is very small, describe the motion of the insect when the wheel starts rotating. So the answer is insect will fly off the wheel tangent to the surface of the wheel, that is in the direction of the velocity when it rotates at higher speed. Reason: when wheel rotates, then the centrifugal force acts on the insect which tries to move the insect away from the axis of rotation, but friction keeps it in contact with the wheel. But the insect will fly away as the rotational speed of the wheel increases, due to which centrifugal force becomes greater than the friction between the insect and the wheel. तो जिस डायरेक्शन में रोटेशनल स्पीड होगी व्हील मूव करेगा उस डायरेक्शन के जो सर्कुलर पाथ होगा उसके साथ टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन में वो इंसेक्ट फ्लाई करेगा, क्योंकि हमें क्वेश्चन में बताया गया है कि फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन इंसेक्ट एंड व्हील जो है वो काफ़ी लो है, तो विद मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ वेलोसिटी जो इंसेक्ट है वो इन टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन फ्लाई कर सकता है। Question number 7. Explain how many minimum number of geostationary satellites are required for global coverage of TV transmission. Answer is minimum 3 correctly positioned geostationary satellites are required for the global coverage of TV transmission. Reason is that as each satellite in geostationary orbit may covers 120 degree of longitude, so for whole populated surface of the earth there must be minimum 3 correctly positioned geostationary satellites to provide the coverage of 360 degree longitude. Question number 8. Explain the significance of moment of inertia in rotatory motion. So the answer is number 1 property. Moment of inertia is the property of a body to maintain its state of rest or of uniform angular motion. That is I is equals to mr square is called the moment of inertia or rotational inertia of a body. It plays the same role in angular motion which the mass m plays in linear motion, that is that of inertia. That is why it is named as rotational inertia. Number 3. Greater the moment of inertia, greater will be the tendency of a body to maintain its state of either of rest or of uniform rotational motion. इनर्शिया बेसिकली एक प्रॉपर्टी होती है किसी भी बॉडी की अपनी मेंटेन को अपनी स्टेट को मेंटेन रखने की। अगर वो मोशन में है तो वो प्रॉपर्टी ये चाहेगी कि वो बॉडी मोशन में रहे, और अगर वो बॉडी रेस्ट पे है तो जो इनर्शिया है वो ये चाहेगा कि वो वाली बॉडी रेस्ट पे रहे। अब अगर लीनियर डोमेन की बात करें तो यहाँ पर ये रोल मैस प्ले कर रहा होता है, जितना ज़्यादा मैस होगा उतना ज़्यादा इनर्शिया होगा। और अगर हम रोटेशनल डोमेन की बात करें तो यहाँ वहाँ पर ये रोल मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया प्ले कर रहा होता है, जिसको हम I इज इक्वल्स टू एम आर स्क्वेयर से लिखते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9. Why does the coasting rotating system slow down as water drops into the beaker? When the water drops into the beaker, the mass of the contents in the beaker increases, which increases the moment of inertia as I is equals to mr square. Angular momentum is given by L is equals to I omega. As omega is inversely proportional to I, in order to keep the angular momentum conserved, according to the law of conservation of angular momentum, the total angular momentum of the system remains constant. Therefore, when moment of inertia increases, then angular velocity decreases. तो जब mass increase करेगा तो moment of inertia increase करेगा. तो इस increase in moment of inertia की वजह से angular velocity कम हो जाएगी. That's why कि जो rotating system होगा वो slow down हो जाएगा. Question number 10. A body will be weightless when the elevator falls down, just like a free falling body. Explain. When elevator is falling freely under the action of gravity, that is A is equals to G, then the relation for tension, which is T is equals to W minus MA. So we'll put the value of weight, that is T is equals to mg minus ma. Now putting A is equals to G, since the elevator is falling freely, so its acceleration will be equal to the gravitational acceleration. So the relation becomes T is equals to mg minus mg. Both the quantities are similar, hence we will get the answer tension is equals to 0. So in beam, in spring balance, the reading in the spring is obtained by the amount of tension created in the spring. Since there is no tension in this case, so the total weight of the elevator will be appeared as 0. That's why we call it as apparent weight. So the apparent weight of the object shown by the spring balance is 0. The object seems to be weightless. Keep it in mind, it is written here is that the object seems to be weightless. Its weight is not in actual sense is 0, but it is a apparent weight. Thus it is in state of weightlessness. Question number 11. When a tractor moves with uniform velocity, its heavier wheel rotates slowly than its lighter wheel. Why? Explain. So we know that the large wheel has large moment of inertia, so its angular velocity is small. That's why heavier wheel rotates slower than its lighter wheel. Reason is that the moment of inertia is equals to I is equals to mr square. The mass and size, that is the radius of the heavier wheel, is large value, due to which it has large rotational inertia. So when a tractor moves with uniform velocity, its heavier wheel rotates slowly than its lighter wheel. Lighter wheel have smaller moment of inertia and their speed of rotation is greater. यहाँ पर हमारे पास देखें जी, ये सिंपल सा केस है जैसे हमने लास्ट टाइम किया था कि हमने जो एंगुलर मोमेंटम है ना उसको हर हाल में कंजर्व रखना है. ये लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एंगुलर मोमेंटम की डिमांड है हमसे. तो अगर आई की बात करें तो एम आर, एक में मैं कैपिटल आर स्क्वायर लिखता हूँ लॉन्गर जो व्हील है हैवियर व्हील, और लाइटर व्हील के लिए मैं स्मॉल आर स्क्वायर लिखता हूँ. जिसका रेडियस ज़्यादा होगा उसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ज़्यादा होगा. अगर मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ज़्यादा हो रहा है तो एंगुलर velocity should be decreased in order to maintain the angular momentum to be conserved. तो अगर यहाँ पर देखें लाइटर व्हील के लिए तो इसका रेडियस कम है, इसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया ज़्यादा होगा, तो इसकी एंगुलर वेलोसिटी इसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया कम है और इसकी एंगुलर वेलोसिटी ज़्यादा होगी. ठीक है जी.